Excellent. All right. Good afternoon, Houston. It's KHO11 meteorologist Kim Castro. We are live streaming for you this afternoon because we have just learned of a big explosive fire in Waller County. With the details, we have our digital director, Randy. Randy, what happened that kind of sparked up this fire? And then I'll get into the weather elements. Obviously, we've got some strong wind today. We had a front that pushed through during the overnight hours. And so I'll talk about some potential impacts that we could see not only with the fire spread, but with the smoke.
Yeah. Oh, I'll start with reporter Marcelino Benito is going to be there shortly. He's actually there. He's gathering facts right now, and we'll be able to get a report from him in just a little bit, but probably on a separate stream. But this is at the Rapid Exchange propane tank facility in Brookshire. Mm-hmm. That's in Waller County. It's well past Katy, and then if you go north off I-10, it's in that area. This happened around 12:30. Mm-hmm. According to the Waller County Sheriff's Office, there are no injuries. But we got a first report about the explosion, and then we could see it on TransStar faintly. And then as soon as the chopper got out there, you can see these images now. We had images earlier where you could see what appeared to be tanks on the ground that possibly exploded. It definitely looked like multiple. We did have to move back out of the immediate airspace, so this is much further back than we were earlier. But you can still see it's smoldering, mm-hmm. and then it looks like the smoke is billowing in a certain direction. So yeah. What are we looking at here as far as weather?
Yeah, okay, so because we had that front roll through, the wind is pretty strong, and it's going to stay gusty through about 5 o'clock in the afternoon. So that's why you do notice those smoke plumes that are pretty tilted and progressing. So the wind is out of the northeast, which means the smoke and the fire spread is going to push towards the southwest. So the areas that could see wind impacts and smoke impacts from this fire would include Simonton, Wallace, Orchard, basically any areas just south and west of where the fire is. So this encompasses all of Brookshire. The area that this is happening in, you'll notice it's a short grassy fire, and the risk with this is it leads to pretty fast, it's called flash burning fires. So fire spread in this type of terrain is pretty quick. The good news is that there isn't billowing brush. So there isn't, large scale canopy trees or big brushes that are next to the short flashy grass fuels. So this isn't going to be a fire that continues to grow in that sense in magnitude. It's just going to be a fire that can spread pretty quickly throughout its surroundings, at least until there is a fire break. And a fire break happens where you see the roads. So you see the smolder from, if you look towards the west of the screen, you'll notice there's white smoke. So that means the fire is ongoing, it's active. Anytime the smoke is white, this is an active fire that's continuing to be put out. Black smoke plumes that are large and growing means that the fire is exploding and it's really picking up in intensity. White smoke means it's starting to smolder and simmer out. So that's good. We like to see white smoke versus black smoke. And you'll notice it's really dying down. So just one little patch that we're looking at, which is about to hit a fire break. So it's about to get to the road, and once it gets to the road, it'll stop. Why I don't think we have a big risk for fire spread, even though we have wind, is there's really not much to catch the fire, or at least propel the fire in terms of larger brush that this would jump to. So as soon as we get that kind of contained to the roads, this fire should really start to die down. You'll notice though on the other side, there's a little bit more action. So we do have the white smoke, meaning some of the grass that's burned is just that, burned grass, nothing else to work with there. However, it has to go through that whole field basically, and it has a lot more kind of real estate to go through. There's not a fire break until, I don't even know if there's a road on the other side. It's pretty rural in this section. So that's going to cause problems as far as the amount of particulate matter that gets absorbed with this fire, short flashy fires like that. And you'll notice there's a complex right to the east of the fire. There's some, I don't know what kind of looks like residential homes maybe, or what is that? Do you know, Randy?
No, I don't.
Yeah,
But let me
anyways.
pull it up on a map.
Okay, there's some buildings there, so luckily there's no active fire burning there. Like I mentioned, short, flashy fuels like that, fire eats it up, and unless an ember flies, there's no threat to the homes. Because the wind is pretty focused at this point, again, north, coming out of the northeast, so pushing the fire and the embers and the risk to the southwest, it looks like that particular area with the homes should be all right. And again, it's in a concrete slab, so that's good. It's a natural fire break. Means there's no material, no fuel source to burn through. I did look at the Forest Service to see what kind of fire risk we had today, whether it was low, medium, or high. It's low for today, which is good. That's despite the wind. What propels a fire are, a multitude of things. The humidity, the wind, and the fuel source. So two things kind of working against us today. Humidity is really low. We had that front drop through, the dew points are in the 30s, the air is arid, it's dry, and so, when something does catch fire, there's no moisture to help subside it. It's gonna keep burning until whatever it's latched onto is fully used up. So I see a fire truck, it looks like. I'm sure they're trying to contain a perimeter around it, but for the most part, it looks like it's a slow, controlled type of burn. It's not an explosive fire. Again, Randy, there's really not different layers to it. So you have that pulled up. Is that the facility, I'm guessing?
It's the address of the facility. This
Okay.
looks like another building. This does not look like it's associated with it, this one
Okay.
here, but it's nearby.
Okay.
So it looks like primarily this is very rural. Just not a lot of structures by it. It's I actually know this area well. We travel through there quite a bit, and there's not a lot of residential. There's some residential, but it's very sparse. So I'm wondering if that's just part of the facility or another facility like it.
Yeah.
Rapid Exchange is it's a propane facility that people go and drop their tanks off to get refilled, according to their website. So there could be. Just got some new information. Some. Wiley Post, our executive producer, just handed this to us. The fire, let's see, I'm just going to read it straight from the Waller County Sheriff's Office Facebook page. The fire is at the 3300 block of FM 529 at the Rapid Exchange. There are units from ESD 200, Katy, Cy-Fair, Fulshire, Harris County Hazmat, Fort Bend County Hazmat, Waller County EMS, Waller County Sheriff's Office. Air quality is good, they say, and no evacuations. And I imagine no shelters in place either, right? We've not seen? Okay. They're going to continually monitor it. There was one injury. We reported earlier there was no injury, so we're going to have to change that lower third that we've got up there. Apparently there was one injury. We don't know how serious that injury was, but the person self-transported. There were 14 people evacuated from the building safely. No information on the building or the number of acres burned.
Very good.
Brand new information right into us.
Okay, brand new information. If you're just joining us, this is a fire in Waller County in the Brookshire area. Started from a propane facility. They had some explosion there. Looks like the people that needed to evacuate evacuated. There's potentially one injury. We don't know the extent of that injury. And we're just continuing to watch the fire spread in the southwesterly direction. We have a breeze coming in out of the northeast. It's around 20 to 25 miles an hour. So that's why you'll notice there's a pretty distinctive path that the white smoke is taking. And, as long as there's a fuel source, which is that entire field, pretty rural area, we're going to continue to watch that smoke and that fire kind of run its course. All the black area that you see there, that's where the fire is already burned through. Aside from the wind, there's low humidity, which is why we're going to have to watch for a fire risk really in the next coming weeks, Randy. We don't have rain in the forecast. And although most of the area is not in a drought currently, we are all under abnormally dry conditions. So when we see something like this, and a spark or a propane explosion or anything of that sort does transpire, we'll have to watch for all of the fuel that is ready and available to burn.
Right. We just got word that the chopper is going to be leaving. What they're going to be doing is refueling to come back here at the top of the 4 o'clock news, which is just a little over an hour and a half away. So you're going to see it. Yep, it's doing it right now. You see the skids. This is what it does to make it more aerodynamic when it goes to and from. It just puts the camera up on the skids. So, so with that, we're going to leave you. We are going to be in contact with Marcelino Benito when he gets to the scene, and hopefully we'll have more for you then. So for now, appreciate it. Thanks, Kim, for the weather report and the
We'll see you at
direction
4.
of the smoke. And
Yeah.
yeah, we'll see you at 4.
Bye-bye.